this is where we found ourselves. Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you know.
Welcome to another edition of the Local Show here on GrassRoots Community Network. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host. Guys, thanks for joining us this week. We're each week here live from Aspen, Colorado. We feature inspirational locals from up and down the valley. This week will not be an exception, guys, because I got a longtime friend on the show. She's a native Aspenite, cross-country skier and racer. She is the new supervisor of the Motherlode Mercantile, Natalie Trecker.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Nat.
So nice to be here.
Great
Thank
to
you,
see
Erik.
you.
Yeah, it's great.
So fun catching up before the show because we don't get to see each other that much anymore.
No, we're all busy living our lives. It was, nice to touch base.
It was nice to catch up a little bit, and want to shout out to your husband, Mike Trecker, who's known as Trecker around town.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Trecker. And the last time I saw you guys was at the Grand Traverse when Trecker and I had the pleasure of being the MCs and announcers at the Grand Traverse this spring.
Yep, and you guys are a great team. Chatting and announcing that event was really entertaining and fabulous for everyone, so thank you.
That was so much fun. Thanks for saying that. It was so much fun. It was really fun after, too, going to the Ajax Tavern with you guys.
Yep, the great local Ajax Tavern. It's wonderful. Yep.
So let's go back just a few years in time, Natalie, to growing up in Aspen, because a lot of people watching this show didn't have the luck, born under the lucky star of growing up in Aspen.
Yep.
And can you tell us, I mean, we don't have a ton of time, but maybe some of the magical aspects, like when you look back on your childhood and think of some of those fond memories.
So I was actually literally born in Aspen, or I was born on Snow Bunny Court, which is so fun, right? My birth certificate says Bunny Court, Snow Bunny Court, off of Cemetery Lane. But growing up here, the one thing that just is so memorable is that we had a high school programming so that you didn't have to be on campus if you weren't in class.
Okay.
And so I would arrange my schedule so that I had, 2 or 3 hours off in the middle of the day. And because the high school is located right next to the cross-country ski trails, where now the ski club building is, but back in the day that was just open fields.
Wow.
I was able to, go cross-country skiing by myself in the middle of the day,
I love it.
as like a class. So that is just, I just thought it was so normal and excellent. When I look back on it and I go, what? That is astounding. That was so precious. So.
And your family was such a big influence because you had Nordic skiers, your dad, Jim Ward, who we had on the show years ago.
Yep, he had the original backpacking cross-country ski fly fishing shop in downtown Aspen at the old Boogie's location. And so, he sold cross-country skis in the 70s. And so we learned to cross-country ski from him, and that was just the culture of our family, right? You learn to sit up, crawl, walk, and then ski the next year, right? And you start with cross-country skiing when you're 3, and then when you're 4, you learn to alpine ski, and it's just part of Nordic life, right? And it's makes for a real good quality life.
Were you Nordic skiing more than alpine skiing? Or
No, growing up, I did probably half and half.
Okay. How did your mom influence your skiing, Nordic or alpine? Was Faye like a big skier?
Yeah, well, she was a skier. My father and her were skiers before they got married.
Okay.
Alpine skiers from Minnesota.
Okay.
And
Don't
so
you know?
Yep, they came out to Aspen and visited in the late 50s and early 60s. They moved here in 64 as skiers. So, and she was instrumental in, she went out with my sister and she would hand pack down snow for a little hill so my sister could practice going up and down the hill skiing. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
incredible.
Just love the outdoors and love the winter, and it's so
amazing.
Yep.
That's and you look back on that and like you just got to go out and ski in the middle of a school day for a couple hours, and then that would lead into competing. Can you tell us a little bit about your competition?
In high school, I started racing on the cross-country ski team in high school, and then I graduated from high school, went to CU in Boulder. Didn't know that I would cross-country ski in college, but there was an opportunity there because CU had a varsity women's team. And so it started to feel like fall and snow, and I found myself at the front door of the ski team building at CU saying, do you need a skier? And so I skied for them on their development team for a year, and then the following season I was skiing on their varsity. So I was basically a walk-on to the varsity for CU and raced for them for 4 years and was All-American for them.
Wow.
As a student there at CU, and then after college, raced for Matsus, kind of a semi-pro team, and chased points and chased the Olympic dream, and almost made the Olympic team, but was just one of those bubble girls, right? 5 girls from the U.S. are definitely going. There's 8 spots. There's 30 of us that are fighting for those last 3 spots, right? So I was, good enough to play the game, so that was great. But the best thing about that whole cross-country career is that I feel like it will help me age well and gracefully and strong, because your expectation and your level of what fitness is and what health is gets so elevated that even if you drop back several levels, you're still landing pretty high on the quality of life scale there. So that's what I think the takeaway is. Oh, great. I'm going to be able to age as a talented cross-country skier at 90. I'll hopefully be able to still cross-country ski, right? So.
Right, because it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
It became your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that bodes well for health, wellness, fitness.
Yeah.
You just keep doing it, right? Like Klaus says, whatever you do, don't stop.
Exactly.
So you just keep, so it still plays a role in your life.
Absolutely.
To this day.
Absolutely.
That's cool. We're going to take a quick break,
Okay.
rehydrate.
Thank you.
We know how important that is.
That's right.
As athletes. For some endurance talking and verbal intervals.
Okay. I'm up for the challenge.
There we go. So we're going to get some good conversation coming up, including what's new at the Motherlode Mercantile at the Pitkin County Solid Waste Center. I do want to thank our underwriters on that note, including Pitkin County Solid Waste Center, Aspen Square, Haiti Children, Klug Properties, Silver Peak Grill, Susie's Consignment Aspen, Sundog Athletics, and our presenting sponsor, the Wheeler Opera House. We'll be gone for our only break of the show, guys, just for 2 minutes.
Susie's Consignment in Aspen at 600 East Main. Same friendly faces, same great prices, and new items daily. See you at Susie's.
At the Wheeler Opera House, we set the stage for connections that create memories for our audiences, artists, and greater Aspen community. At the Wheeler Opera House, all are welcome. You're welcome to be a part of history.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Join the string beans in helping reduce food waste in our community.
Plan menus carefully and only buy what you need.
Collect unused scraps for compost.
Ask for smaller portions in restaurants.
Take home leftovers to eat later.
Donate unopened food to our food bank.
Let's work in concert to reduce food waste.
Providing exceptional service for over 50 years, Aspen Square features studio and larger condominiums for nightly rental with an ideal downtown Aspen location. They offer fully equipped kitchens, wood-burning fireplaces, and private balconies with full hotel-style services and gracious hospitality. Aspen Square is proud to support the local show. Chef-owned and operated and supported by a hard-working team behind the line, Silver Peak Grill is passionate about their food, service, and delivering quality. Expect quick serve, casual dining, in a clean, bright atmosphere with an outdoor patio with shade in the summer. Sundog Athletics, Aspen's adventure sports school, is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure.
Welcome to the local show. People you work with, people you
We're back here on the local show. Thank you guys for being with us. This week we are featuring my friend Natalie Trecker and the Motherlode Mercantile. And it's such a great, Natalie, let's talk about the just brief history of the Mercantile, because it hasn't been around too long.
No, not. It was an experiment last summer, started in June. And in the first 6 months, they diverted, I think, like 32 tons of solid waste from being buried in the landfill. So that was a huge success. And so they decided this spring to hire extra full-time staff to, in earnest, make it a real diversion part of the landfill. And so I luckily got hired. It's just a great job. It's so wonderful to be able to be part of a mission to help the environment and the community. And I worked years in the retail in downtown Aspen in the core, luxury retail operations. And that's a certain experience and a certain demographic. So it's wonderful to be now out at the landfill where I see people I know every single day, locals I haven't seen in years. It's kind of like working at the barbershop. Right. You get to chat all day long with people and find out what they're up to and find out what they need and what they're dropping off. So it's great. And there's like this flower arrangement I brought to Erik is from the Mercantile.
So
it's
lovely.
Landed today. It was random serendipity. I brought some festive things here.
Gosh.
You can have a little.
Oh, I love it! I love it.
There's always
I'm feeling the
fun
aloha
stuff,
right now.
Right?
From the
There's always
Mercantile
fun
aloha.
stuff that shows up at the Mercantile. Every day is like Christmas.
It sounds like you found home. Like
yes.
This is a great fit for you.
Yes, it is.
It's like the social, the retail, the treasures, which we'll talk a little bit about. Let's talk about kind of the smart, like, it's about reusing, right? It's about, instead of just throw that away, and a lot of us don't want to throw stuff away. We want to see it, passed on or used some more by someone who could really appreciate it. Let's talk about that kind of a smart way to reuse your items.
The people are so happy to be able to bring their unused items somewhere where they can be reused and not put them in the trash. And people are so happy to find stuff for affordable prices that they can repurpose in their own lives. And they don't have to order it on Amazon, do the Amazon Me Trash line. They can start a circle of reuse, right? And it's been really successful. We'd like to create a community resource up there at the landfill for reuse, a place where things can be repurposed. Obviously, we live in a valley where there's lots of abundance. And there's not a lot of access to like the big home superstore, right? You have to drive a long ways or order online and have it shipped across the ocean with containers and packaging, right, which is also waste. So it's an amazing experiment in waste reduction, buying local, contributing to community, helping the environment. And every single day there's this, what I've coined this phrase since being there, random serendipity, right? And trying to keep the energy and the positivity and everything in sync so that people will find what they need. You know, things will land and 20 minutes later the guy who needs that completely random thing will show up. And I find myself looking at the back of pickups, you know, will you take this? Will you take this? And I tell people, I try to say yes. I try to say yes to almost anything you bring, because even the most bizarre item that I'm like, really, Natalie? You're going to say yes to that? I say yes to it, and it's like the first thing to go.
And someone
people will show up. And we took 80 ceramic stools from Anderson Ranch this summer. And little by little, every one of those 80 stools got adopted, as we say, and reused.
Found their forever home.
That's
incredible.
The old Snowmass, old Catherine store was getting rid of their old gas pricing signs, you know, with the flip numbers. And I thought, wow, really? That's odd.
It's kind of antique-y.
Right? Yeah. And I said, yes, please. We unloaded it, and by the end of the day, both of those had been adopted, and people were absolutely thrilled. Right?
You got a good eye for that stuff,
You can find stuff that you can't buy online, and if you do buy it, you have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars. And if you're willing to pull out the sandpaper and the stain, you can get it for $10 at the Motherlode.
There you go.
And have it in your home and reuse it, and it's great.
So I had purchased some local art from Gabrielle Louise, who's out of Paonia, featured her on the show, musician, artist. Went to go to the Motherlode Mercantile in the Connex containers, which we have some images that are outside the Mercantile main building.
Yep.
And found 2 amazing brand new picture frames for $8. I might have talked them down from 9 to 8.
Yeah.
Little haggling. And I got 2 brand new frames for $8, and that was just an example of a recent kind of these little hidden gems that you find.
Yep. And you just spoke of the containers. I don't know if we have the pictures of those containers, but they're big shipping containers.
Yeah.
We started out, we only had 3 right next to each other, facing uphill into the wind. I'm like, what? We got to change this up. So we got 2 more containers, spread them out. We have space in between them all. We have windows, doors. A lot of people use them for greenhouses, sheds, right? So there's a lot of construction stuff that can get reused. Light fixtures, furniture, home goods, dishes, tile, lawn furniture. And the thing is, if you come one day at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then you come the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning, you didn't necessarily see everything that came and went, because there's so much activity within that 24 hours of things coming and going in the same day that it's difficult, unless you're there all the time, to see the activity. We have probably average, sometimes less, sometimes 20, sometimes 45, 50, but we have an average about 30 people that purchase things out of there every day, and maybe 20 or 25 that donate, right? So it's been
incredible.
Phenomenal.
So you got to go regular. It's kind of like, if you stop by the thrift store in downtown Aspen, you got to go regularly to find those gems. Its timing is everything there.
Yes, it is.
I mean, there must be so many fun stories of different people coming in, finding crazy items. And there's a lot of gear too, athletic gear.
Yeah, there's skis and backpacks,
rollerblades,
golf
all
clubs,
kinds of stuff.
and we've also did some, like the one serendipity thing. I got the call from this gentleman. He's like, he goes, do you take those black flower pots, right, that you get at the nursery when you buy a plant?
Oh, sure.
I'm like, he goes, I have like 400. I'm
oh
like,
my gosh.
What am I do with 400, right? I'm like, yes. I said, I'm going to, yes. I go, I don't know, but yes, right? He's like, okay, well, I'll come up later today. I've got my truck full of these pots. Later that afternoon, I got a call from a woman who has this project. She's trying to plant and seed all these organic plants and vegetable plants to donate to these food programs, right, for poverty and food needs, right? And she's like, do you have any black flower pots? I'm like, are you kidding me? 2 hours ago, I said, yes, I have the guy's number. Tell you what, I'll just give you this guy's number.
And just connect him.
Connect you, because I think you actually live close to each other in the Mid-Valley, right? And then just keep me out of it. I'm just trying to facilitate this, right?
That's crazy.
And I've talked to her later, and she goes, oh yeah, he lived right down the road from me. He's getting out of the landscaping business, has all these pots. I'm getting in, I needed them. I was just like, this is perfection, right? This is exactly what we're trying to do.
Repurpose matchmaking.
Right? Today, this guy brought some stuff, and he's like, oh, I also have some tile set. Do you take that? Bags of dried open tile set. I'm like, oh, I really don't want to. Well, the guy next to me is like, I'm a tile mason, and I'll take it. And I'm like, perfect. Just swap it. You guys swap it. I was never here. That's perfect.
That's amazing.
Right? It's not going into the dump. It's getting reused.
You were the facilitator though that made that happen.
We
That's
just
neat.
love, our motivation is not profit. Our motivation is diversion, reuse, making it work.
Not everything's about money, right?
Yeah.
In
So
this
how
world.
refreshing is that to be in an environment that's that?
Let's talk about the culture, because there's an overarching culture of reuse, repurpose, recycle, refuse even.
Yes.
Let's talk about refuse to start
is
with.
good. Yep.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because when we're in a purchasing decision, no
Yeah.
matter what it is,
Yeah.
I mean, major items, we're probably doing a little more research and stuff, but let's talk about that, the refuse aspect.
Yep.
'Cause that can start.
Be thoughtful. Be mindful about what you actually want to bring into your space. Will you use it? Is it worth the plastic and the shipping that it will take to get it to you, right? Do you need that plastic organizer in your drawer? Can you just have the stuff in the drawer, right? Or can you go buy the Mercantile when you dump off your compost and find an organizer for $1, right? Probably.
Right.
Yeah, and be mindful. And we touched on this earlier. We were chatting before about charging a little bit of money for these items, $1, $3, $5. we feel is worth that value instead of having it just be free, because then people have to be mindful about, is it worth that dollar to take home with me, and not just be in that free state of mind. I gotta take it all, it's free, and then you end up with cluttered place, quality of life not great, because now you've got all this burden of stuff, right? So there's a balance.
It's a thoughtful value now. I'm going to pay, even if I pay $3, I want to make sure that I'm going to really use that.
Yeah.
I need it.
Exactly.
I'm going to use it. So it creates kind of a thought process, creates a value around the object. The object's going to have much more chance of being used and appreciated, moves on. The other opportunity is to, not only go there and shop, but to drop things off. And diversion is so huge because our landfill is filling up so quickly. Less than a 10-year current lifespan left.
Yeah, in our current location, we have about 6 years left in our current location.
Right. So anything we can divert, whether it's like useful items for the Mercantile or compost.
So we had, oh my gosh, couches. Couches are weird because they're upholstery, they're large, they go out of date, right? I'd be really picky. But we had one of the hotels in town came two huge U-Hauls. So I'm like, what is going to be in these 2 huge U-Hauls, right? It's like 16 gray different pieces of couch, right?
Wow.
Loungers, chaises. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Okay, unload it. Here we go. We'll see what happens, right? In 24 hours, we had sold 11 of those couches. Right?
Incredible.
So that's all of that mass not in the landfill. That's all of that packaging not wrapped around furniture coming from Wayfair, right? It's
incredible.
It boggles the mind.
And all those people who basically showed up that day got those great
items. It's like the meshes land the wildfire, right? And you can see it just
full circle love.
And people are so excited. I'm paying $10 for this. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, yes, please, take it out of here before it gets dirty and horrible, right? Like, we have to reward you for coming up here into the dirt on the chance you won't find anything you like, right? It's fine. Take it, love it, reuse it, pay me just a few dollars. It's great.
It's fine, but it's so fun because it's like, this is a fun thing.
Yeah.
Like being environmentally conscious, if you go pull it back, can actually be pretty enjoyable. If you're living as a minimalist, for me, living in 600 feet, riding my bike, driving my car like maybe 30 miles a week, trying to not have a lot of stuff, but the stuff I have I really value.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and then going up there and finding these great like bargains and gems. That's all fun.
Yes.
It's rewarding.
It is.
It's like a feel-good thing, right?
Yeah, it is. And we've had, the community has brought, the senior center brought some seniors out for a field trip. We've had school programs come and take a tour to understand what goes on up there.
Some of your partners that you guys have?
We've partnered with, I got a call from the lady who has a volunteer program in Newcastle, Rifle. The Apple Tree community is trying to get paint for upgrading the exteriors of some of these trailers for these low-income people. So we donated 20 gallons of paint from our hazardous waste program to that community project down there for beautifying that neighborhood. We donated this spring 62 bikes to the Navajo Nation project, which was, they have a bunch of volunteer bike mechanics that collect these old bikes and get them up and running, and then have a program on the reservation for the children to have bikes.
Oh, cool.
So Anderson Ranch came with their class and rummaged for art supplies, to do some interesting art projects. So I'm excited to see what other outreach I can do in the community to connect community projects with the resources up there.
So we're down to just 2 minutes. I'm getting my signals here from behind the magic of television here, Natalie, without the earpiece.
Oh, nice.
What does the future hold for Motherlode Mercantile?
The immediate future is we're starting in August. So starting last week, continuing forward to the end of August, every Tuesday evening from 5 to 7, we're open just at the Mercantile for shopping and dropping items.
Nice.
People work 9 to 5. They can't come during the day, right? So we thought we'd open up a couple hours in the evening, 5 to 7 on Tuesdays in August.
Nice.
Come visit us, get the Mercantile experience.
I love it.
I'm trying to bring... come out of a new turntable. We need a new turntable up there. So
put out
we have a turntable. We need a new turntable.
Put out the vibration
for
the
because we're spinning vinyl.
to the universe.
Yep.
It'll
spinning
come
vinyl
now.
And yeah, doing good things up there. So.
Well, this was in the past, not the future. I baked you cookies in the past. It was the recent past.
Okay.
And I just did a small token of my appreciation. Erik's organic chocolate chunk cookies.
I'm so excited.
Be one of my quality control testers.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, did you have fun of the show?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Hey, you can dig in. Thanks for being here, Natalie.
Thank you, Erik.
So Natalie Trecker, go see her at the Motherlode Mercantile, guys, at the Pickens County Solid Waste Center. And thank you for watching this week on The Local Show. At the Wheeler Opera House, we set the stage for connections that create memories for our audiences, artists, and greater Aspen community. At the Wheeler Opera House, all are welcome. You're welcome to be a part of history.
I'm so passionate about this community. I absolutely love living here and raising my family here. It gives me a lot of pride to share this with my friends and my clients and help them achieve their dreams of owning an Aspen snowmass and enjoying this incredible lifestyle.
Want to live like a local?
Help us reduce food waste, a major contributor to climate change.
You can help in 3 simple ways.
Plan menus carefully and only buy what you need.
Collect unused scraps for compost.
Buy ugly fruits and vegetables.
Reduce food waste.
Live like a local.
Sundog Athletics, Aspen's Adventure Sports School, is your opportunity to experience Aspen's most amazing adventure locations and gain new skills to increase your safety, performance, and enjoyment while mountain biking, road biking, hiking, and paddling on Aspen's exclusive canoeing adventure.
Welcome to